Welcome back to the Chess Channel. Felix and Mike here, and today we're going to show you a beautiful game played between Aaron Nimzowitsch and Seymon Alapin. It's actually a little bit of debate as to when this game was played. I know that you've done some research here, Felix.
That's right, Mike. I've looked all over, and the debate is when and where it was played, and we're not really sure. Some people say it was 1911, 1912, 1914, maybe in Riga, St. Petersburg, maybe Lithuania. We're not sure exactly when or where it was played, but we know Aaron Nimzowitsch played it.
And it's a beautiful game.
That's right, Mike. And Aaron Nimzowitsch is the father of hypermodern chess. Mike, I know you know a lot about it. Give us a few seconds on hypermodern chess.
A few seconds. How about a few months, right? Well, essentially, positional chess or hypermodern chess is when the structures are a lot more closed, there's more maneuvering. Before Nimzowitsch wrote My System, his classic book, and actually this is the first game that was illustrated in the book, chess was played more in a romantic style, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of open positions. Nimzowitsch showed that, yes, you have to master the open game, but also he showed us real plans in what to do with closed pawn structures. But let's get to this game because it's beautiful, and you would also think that Paul Morphy played this game, not Aaron Nimzowitsch.
All right, let's get to it. This e4, e6, d4, d5 is the beginning of a French defense. The knight comes out, both knights, and there's a classical system. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes. It looks more like an exchange now.
Yes.
Okay. In this position, Nimzowitsch just develops his knight, knight to f3, pawn c5, and they exchange in the middle. Knight takes, queen takes. We notice the queen is out early for black, but Nimzowitsch keeps developing pieces. Gets his bishop to e3. Now pawn takes pawn, knight takes, and pawn to a6.
That's an odd move there.
That is an odd move. I think it was played to prevent the bishop from coming to b5 to check the king. But Nimzowitsch had another plan in his mind. He simply developed his bishop to e2.
Yeah. And this is an interesting move because it offers material for the first time. He's sacrificing a pawn, but essentially what he's saying is, you can take that pawn at the sake of time. Really, Alapin should have carefully considered what to do here, since his whole back rank of minor pieces, none of them have been developed, but he went pawn grabbing. In fact, we've now coined the term poisoned pawn. It wasn't around in Nimzowicz's day, but essentially what that means is capturing a pawn, but losing time in development, and can lead to disaster.
That's right, Mike, and this is a beautiful way to protect the rook. This is called an X-ray defense. The bishop is protecting the rook by X-ray. It's actually going through the queen and looking at the rook. So the queen's in danger. She has to run away, and she goes to a safe spot on g6. Now, white wants to castle, but he can't castle kingside, so he's going to go queenside. Gets his queen out of the way, and black plays pawn to e5. Again, attacking, but what's the problem here, Mike?
Well, although he's attacking the knight, again, he's neglecting the development of his pieces. His king is going to be stuck in the middle, and Nimzowitsch correctly here says, you know what, I don't need to move that knight. I'm just going to safely develop my king here by castling and hope that my opponent takes the knight, because it will open up lines for my pieces.
That's right, Mike. And now pawn takes knight, bishop takes pawn, and if you notice, there's a battery on the D line looking right at d8, checkmate on d8 if that bishop were not there. So his opponent sees this and gets his knight out to c6, and we'll see that we have those two lines open, the D line and the E line.
Yeah, and then, perhaps the most beautiful move of the game here, although Nimzowitsch has played extremely well, setting some nice traps for his opponents, but this move just takes the cake.
Bishop f6, what a beautiful move. When I first saw this move, I didn't understand it, but the idea is simple. He gets the bishop out of the way to clear the E and the D lines so that he can attack on both lines.
Okay. And so Alapin, true to form here, he captured the pawn earlier, he captured the knight, so why not take the bishop?
Taking everything, that's right. Now the last piece gets into the game, the rook comes to e1, check, and now black has to figure out how to get out of check.
So he played bishop e7, But if we go back a second, Felix, there's also a beautiful checkmate on bishop e6.
That's right. We can play queen to d7, checkmate. The bishop cannot take the queen because it's pinned by the rook.
Okay, so he played bishop e7 in the game.
And black is almost out of danger, Mike. If he could just castle, I think he's winning. Okay, but Nimzowitsch does not give him that chance.
He takes the knight beautifully, checking the king, not letting the king escape. If the pawn were to take, pause your video here, right?
Yes.
It's a beautiful checkmate.
Beautiful. Once again, the queen will go all the way up to d8. The bishop can't take because it's pinned.
Now in the game, Alapin saw this, but it was a little too late. He tried to run away with the king.
Queen goes all the way up. Check. Bishop takes, only move, and checkmate on
Yes.
e8.
Yes. Very reminiscent of the Morphy Duke of Brunswick game, but it was played by Nimzowitsch.
That's right. Beautiful end. Mike, this was a great game.
Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.